Canada's federal health minister today suggested mandatory vaccines could be inevitable, but that it would be up to the provinces to initiate that. It is just ramping up the controversy at a time when people are reaching their limits with this pandemic, and pressure is mounting on everyone to get vaccinated.
I will give you a personal point of view. It's personal and not necessarily relevant because this is a decision that will be made by the provinces. I personally think we will get there at some point. Mandatory vaccination.
It means the onus is on provinces. So far, the Ford government has not responded to a request by CityNews for a comment. But making vaccines mandatory would be a political landmine for a Conservative government that initially resisted vaccine passports. Today, as he toured a booster clinic in North Etobicoke, Premier Ford was asked if he would follow Quebec's lead and make vaccinations mandatory to enter a liquor store. He dodged the question from our CityNews cameraman as if it was a hand grenade.
Should they be able to go to an LCBO?
Well, again, Jamie, what we want to do is move forward, get as many people vaccinated as possible, and get the economy back up and going.
But there is no doubt pressure is mounting to get the unvaccinated to relent.
7 days ago, about 9% of people at Trillium Health Partners receiving hospital care had COVID-19. But today that number is 16%.
If you are an unvaccinated adult, you are going to become part of the Omicron wave that is threatening our hospitals. So I urge you to please stay home, limit your contact in the community to the most essential reasons, and please get your first 2 doses without delay to get protected.
But urging the unvaccinated is very different than making it mandatory for them.
Forcing people to be vaccinated with the COVID vaccine, is that ethical? Is that reasonable?
There's no question that there is an ethical obligation for each and every one of us to be vaccinated. And let me say this, if mandatory vaccines include limiting or even halting health care for unvaccinated people, I, as a bioethicist, would be, with a lot of years experience working within Canadian healthcare, would be 100% opposed to that. I think it really tears at the very roots of who we are as a country, and it really rips apart our healthcare system in terms of making judgments about our patients. There is so much anger right now towards unvaccinated people, and I get it to a point, but what I struggle with is, what does mandatory mean? Are we going to go door to door? We're hearing some European nations are actually beginning to fine people. The question is not just, do we do this, but what does it say about us as a society? Yes. And how far do we go? What does it mean in terms of the social fabric of Canada?
As for making vaccines mandatory for children to go to school, well, Toronto's medical officer of health has said she supports that. And the province's chief medical officer of health a few months ago said he was looking into it. But there have been no moves to do so.